Welcome to the Gurukul Prep Daily Podcast on 21st August. Update 1 Summit and Conference. India-Japan Ministerial Dialogue held in Delhi. On 20th August 2024, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held the third India-Japan 2+2 Ministerial Dialogue in New Delhi, with Japanese Minister of Defense Mr. Kihara Minoru and Minister of Foreign Affairs Ms. Yoko Kamikawa, with a focus on strengthening overall strategic ties and reviewing the Indo-Pacific situation. The first edition of the dialogue was held in India in 2019, while the second one took place in Japan in 2022. India has the 2+2 ministerial dialogue format with a few countries, including the US, Australia and Russia. Update 2 Appointment. Ashok Kumar Singh takes over Director General, ESIC. Ashok Kumar Singh, IS, has taken over as Director General of the Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC, under the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India, in its New Delhi headquarters. Ashok Kumar Singh is an IS officer from the Kerala Cadre's 1999 batch. He previously served as Principal Secretary in the Water Resources Department of the Kerala government. He has extensive experience in governance and management of district and state-level organizations. Singh holds an M.Phil from National Defence College, New Delhi, and a mechanical engineering graduate from IIT, Kanpur. Update 3 Books. Book on Bhuvneshwar's past and present released. The Coffee Table Book, B by Bhuvneshwar, completes 75 years, written by entrepreneur and MD of Hotel Crown Debasish Patnaik, chronicles Bhuvneshwar's rich history and growth over the last 7 decades. It was released by a prominent collection of individuals, including novelist Pratibha Ray, linguist Debi Prasanna Patnaik, dramatist Anant Mohapatra, former Chief Secretary Bijay Patnaik, public policy expert Prasanna Mishra, Modern Book Depot owner Om Prakash, and NMA Chairman Kishore Basa. The book, the author said, offers a comprehensive photographic narrative capturing the city's evolution from its early days as a planned administrative town to its current status as a thriving Tier 2 city. Update 4 Defense. Army Chief General chairs high-level meeting. On 20th August, Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi presided over a high-level meeting focused on the Indian Army's ongoing transformational activities and contribution to achieving Viksit Bharat by 2047. According to a statement from the Ministry of Defence, discussions were held to reorganize Army headquarters, command headquarters, and other critical organizations to achieve maximum efficiency and operational readiness. The Indian Army's focus will be on modernizing all combat arms, combat support arms, and logistic units. Update 5 Economy. Nepal to export 1000 megawatts electricity to India. Nepal will supply around 1000 megawatts of power to India, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar announced following extensive discussions with his Nepalese counterpart Arzu Ranadeuba. Mr. Jaishankar welcomed Nepal's decision to export electricity to India as a new milestone. The two ministers also discussed ways to strengthen trade, connectivity, and infrastructure collaboration. Discussed the multifaceted India-Nepal cooperation including in energy, trade, connectivity and infrastructure development, Mr. Jaishankar said on X. Update 6 National. India heightens alert as MPOX cases rise globally. According to sources, the central government has urged airport, port, and border authorities to remain watchful in light of the global increase in MPOX cases. Officials stated, "We have alerted airports, ports, and borders with Bangladesh and Pakistan. 3 central hospitals will have facilities for isolation, like Safdarjung Hospital, Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, and Lady Hardinge." According to sources, the Union Health Ministry convened meetings with experts to discuss the new viral threat, which is different from the previous monkeypox virus. Update 7. Obituary. General Sundararajan Padmanabhan passes away at 83. Former Indian Army Chief General Sundararajan Padmanabhan died in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, on 19 August, according to the Indian Army. On 30 September 2000, General Sundararajan Padmanabhan, commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery, acquired command of the Indian Army as the 20th Chief of Army Staff. General Padmanabhan was influential in the Army's significant wins over militants in Kashmir, which allowed it to pull up operations. His splendid job in the border state, which continues to deal with armed militants, earned him the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, AVSM, after which he was appointed as the Director General of Military Intelligence, DGMI. Update 8. Rank and Report. Net FDI rises to $6.9 billion in Q1 FY25. According to the Reserve Bank of India's most recent figures, net foreign direct investment, FDI, was $6.9 billion in the April to June period of the current fiscal year, up from $4.7 billion the previous year. The increase was attributed to an improvement in gross inward FDI, which increased by 26.4% yearly, YoY, to $22.5 billion in Q1 2024-25. Manufacturing, financial services, communication services, computer services, electricity, and other energy sectors accounted for about 80% of the gross FDI inflows. Update 9. Science and Technology. China approves $31 billion for 11 new nuclear reactors across 5 sites. China has approved 11 nuclear reactors across 5 locations, a record number of permits, as the government relies even more heavily on nuclear energy to help its efforts to reduce emissions. According to state-run China Energy News, the State Council approved the construction of additional reactors in Jiangsu, Shandong, Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Guangxi. According to the financial journal Jiemian, the total investment for all 11 units will be at least 220 billion yuan, $31 billion, with construction expected to take 5 years. China has more nuclear reactors under construction than any other nation. Update 10. State. Rajasthan government secures 5 rupees and 21 paise trillion in investment proposals ahead of summit. Within 2 weeks of announcing the dates for the Rising Rajasthan Investment Summit 2024, the Rajasthan government received investment proposals totaling more than 5.21 lakh rupees crore, approximately $62 billion. According to an official release, the Bureau of Investment Promotion, BEP, the nodal department for the investment summit, has received bids from some of India's and the world's most prominent corporate entities. These projects have the potential to generate about 1.55 lakh direct employment opportunities.